You need to get like some crazy googly eyes to put on top of your headset when you're playing, because that would look fucking hilarious. Just
What?
following around there. I'm watching you fight these monsters and like watching you on the green screen.
Oh, okay.
On your
I didn't
when
know
you're
what
doing
the fuck
VR.
you were referring to.
Oh.
All right. We're talking VR tonight on the Red Eye Report. I finally
VR.
get to live out my adult dream of taking a deep dive into
Right? Because when we were
VR.
children, VR looked stupid. It's
It
like
looks
full
stupid.
duh.
It was Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
1992. I think it was
Mhm.
92. So, VR, tonight we're going to talk about the history of where VR came from. We're going to talk about kind of what's currently out there and also some future stuff. So, VR is really progressing quickly over the past couple years here now that some big players are in the game. So let's start off with just talking about how VR works in the basics of it. So it's an immersive situation. So you've got screens, modern VR, you've got screens right in front, two screens, one for each eye, because it compensates. It's just like if you close one eye, close the other eye, you're seeing a different picture. So it's right up there. You also have the audio, and they did have some virtual reality systems that were just the head-mounted display, or where you would put your cell phone in, but you didn't have any motion controls or anything. Those are really dying out. They actually have discontinued a lot of those already because people want to be able to use their hands. So, in order to make some challenges with a modern VR, they have standalone units. They don't have, so the Oculus Quest is kind of the big one and is recommended by, if you don't have a fucking badass computer, that's the one you should get. Oculus is going to be releasing a new one in September here with some slight improvements over the older one. The big thing with VR is you have to have high frames per second. And keep in mind, you've got two screens. So whatever's powering that needs to power two separate
Twice.
screens at the same time at 90 frames per second with a 90 hertz refresh rate. So that's having to
So
do
that
a
your
lot.
eyes don't perceive it.
So when you break that immersion, if it slows down or if it lags, that's what makes you want to throw up. So that's why when they first had like the first
Earlier
virtual reality
years, yeah.
systems, people were talking about a lot of motion sickness. It was because it wasn't keeping up with the frames per
The
second
human eye.
and with the refresh. That has improved a lot over time. And there is like teleporting. And so when you first start out, you teleport because otherwise you'll feel sick, or a lot of people will feel sick because your brain is immersed in this thing. Your brain is saying, okay, I'm in this environment.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what do you mean
like,
by teleport?
so teleport, you with your thumbstick, you say, okay, I want to go over there, and you just jump over there.
Oh, like you set a marker and you just
Yeah, you set a
appear
marker
over
and you
there?
go over there.
Oh,
But after
so
you
do a lot of games do that?
Well,
Have
a
that
lot of
method
games did do that, but now we're getting to the point where people are using the tech. For instance, now I can't stand teleporting because it feels fucking slow and janky as fuck. So I actually want to move around with a joystick like I would in an actual game.
Janky.
Yeah, can you just use a D-pad like?
Yeah, you can move
where
it
you
around.
Can just your feet stay still, but you can move your character in the game.
Exactly, you move it around just like you would in a video game, and you get better at that. It's called finding your VR, getting your VR legs. But let's talk about the history of VR. And this is off of Virtual Reality Society .org.uk.
Oh, the authority.
This is actually a really good in-depth timeline for VR technology. This is a new kind of buzzwordy thing, a lot of popularity. There's a lot of money. It's growing really quickly. So you find a lot of bullshit online, but you can tell when sites actually, know what the fuck they're talking about and there's some substance to it. So virtual reality in terms of immersive experiences, that can go back. Some people could argue all the way back to like panoramic paintings.
Oh yeah.
Trying to immerse the user. And a good point that they put up on here is when people watch the first film of a train coming at them and they hadn't seen a film before, they freaked the fuck out because they thought the train was coming at them. So that's an immersive experience, right? So our standards as to what is actually immersive and what is considered to be virtual reality, that changes over
What do you mean?
time.
Was that like? You mean when film
When
first
film
came
first
out?
came
Oh,
out,
I didn't
yeah.
know there was an incident with a train coming
Yeah.
at the audience and people
Yeah, where it
freaked
was
out.
coming at the audience.
Yeah, that's one of the first films ever made
Yeah.
or ever shown.
Right. So probably the closest thing it would be stereoscopic photos and viewers. I don't know if you guys have seen these where back in the 1830s they actually, or starting in the 1830s, you would hold up a thing and you could look at a three-dimensional picture. So these are from the 1800s. If you go to some museums and shit like that, and basically you look at it, and what it's doing is it's got two different pictures. So it's using your two different points of view to create that illusion of three-dimensional space.
Yeah, it's like those play school fucking viewfinder things
exactly.
that like kids would use.
So this is something that is used for modern day VR because you have the two different screens where you're, and that's how it's creating that spatial environment that you're actually looking at. So early things would be like simulators for pilots. They would actually make like mechanical simulators and shit like that.
Yeah, but they had all the best ones.
Absolutely.
Back in the day.
And then we get into something, they start experimenting with film in the 1950s, and they did a sensorama. And that's where it would have fans. So it's kind of like an arcade cabinet. You stick your head in there, there's fans blowing wind on you. It actually has smells. And it would have a stereoscopic 3D display with film. So the 1960s actually was the first head-mounted display in 1960. So this is using film, but it's actually has uses like a stereo sound in it, and it's got the 3D vision in there. Now, they actually had a motion tracking system in 1961. So when you move your head around,
look at that guy. Looks like he's got two soup cans on his face.
Right. Now, the one that gets referenced a lot is the first kind of VR system that's using computer-generated graphics is the Sword of Damocles in 1968. So this is a huge fucking thing.
What are you
that had to be
clapping at?
mounted on the ceiling. And it was a VR experience with computer-generated graphics. So that's 1968. 1970s.
Boy,
They're
is that what
starting to
that
make,
picture is there? The sort of deck?
Yeah, sort of Damocles. You've got this fucking thing that's mounted on the ceiling. Now, they're experimenting with this stuff, We get to kind of what we would recognize as today's VR once NASA picks it up in 1989. So they create a head-mounted display with gloves in order for you to interact, and you're doing simulations for NASA missions. This is for NASA astronauts in order to train for missions. So we're in 1989. Now, I didn't know this, but Sega actually had plans and prototyped VR glasses or a VR headset to be used with the Sega Genesis in 1993.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had never heard of this before. It would only it would cost $200, which is not that bad.
Yeah,
but
that
I
might
don't
make
know.
you throw up.
Right.
Well,
I don't
no,
know what the fuck.
The console itself back in the day was $150, so $200 for that one peripheral would have been more than the console itself.
True. And it probably would have been.
32X when it came out was like $75.
Right.
So.
I have no idea what the hell.
It would have sucked ass, dude.
Right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like,
it probably would have been made you
making people throw up left and right. Try to fucking play Sonic on your fucking some VR.
So what was the demise of it?
It never came out. They couldn't get it to work
really
properly. Yeah, they prototyped it. They just, I mean, I don't even know how the fuck
they learned from Atari. Don't put it out.
For those gamers who do not know, Sega had a big problem shooting themselves in the foot with a lot of peripherals and things that their consoles didn't need.
32X.
Yeah, right. Yeah, things got a little crazy CD. With them for a while.
The Sega CD only had one big game, and that was Sonic CD. So
So they actually did come out with a VR that was released, and that was for arcade cabinets. So I never used anything like that. I'm guessing that was more of a Japanese market thing.
Probably. Yeah.
Then there was Virtual Boy in 1995. I don't know if have you guys used that.
I played with that I played with the Virtual Boy back in the day because I have a friend who had one.
Oh,
Eddie probably has one, but he can't be bothered to talk to us right now because he's on the fucking phone.
Yeah,
my father was calling me Dick. Now, what was the question?
So, have you used a Virtual Boy, Teddy?
Oh yeah, I'm actually looking for one. So if anybody knows somebody has one, I want to buy it because I love Mario. I mean, it sucked as a system. See, here's the thing: I don't get those kind of games that make me motion sick. I mean, playing tennis and mixed game and stuff made me made a lot of people sick and everything else. Just like with the 3DX, the 3DS, with the 3D without the glasses, that made a lot of people sick too. And I didn't get that. My mind doesn't fuck with my mind like that. So
I just remember playing it and I got more than anything you get a sore neck because they designed it like you're supposed to set it on a table.
Yeah, it was weird. Like you had to, it wouldn't actually go on your head. You actually had a tripod.
You had to lean into it.
You had to stand on the stand. Yeah, you kind of had to support like this and lean into it.
And you get the nerve.
Virtual Boy?
Yeah, Virtual Boy. So the Oculus Kickstarter, that's when things really... So a lot of this stuff was being tested, prototyped, used for kind of corporate stuff, flight simulators, shit like that. Oculus Rift, the Kickstarter, happened in 2012. And that's when things really started to pick up. So Facebook buys Oculus in 2014. Oculus is a Facebook company. In 2016 and 17, that's when fucking shit starts getting crazy because we have the Oculus Rift, we have the HTC Vive. So that at that time that was Valve's.
2017.
2016, I believe that one came out. And standalone VR comes out in 2018 with the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Go. The Quest is the one that is the most successful out of those right now. That's the one where you don't have to hook it up to anything and you have your motion controls and all that shit. So that kind of leads us up where we're now, and we have the Valve Index, which is Valve's own set. That is $1,200, and you have two base stations that you have to have in your environment. It's supposed to be quite good. Base stations
as in like sensor?
Yeah, sensors.
I thought you said they were getting away from that.
Well, they are, but there is something to be said that it will be more accurate.
The highest quality.
Right, highest quality in terms of accuracy. Coming up real soon here, we actually have the HP Reverb G2. Now, this display... So this is a Windows mixed reality headset. So companies, it's starting to get into the realm of cell phones now, where it's like, okay, you had your big ones, now there's more market pressure. People are making more of this shit. There are other manufacturers competing for this. And the HP Reverb G2 has a 4K or 4K displays for your eyes. So that's that's twice as much fidelity as the Oculus, for instance.
You're gonna cream your pants.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some comparison videos of it, and it's fucking. I mean, it's photorealistic. It's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna ask you, Oracle. Did you come up with this episode after reading the Ready Player One?
Well, reading Ready Player One definitely fed into it because I've been into VR, and then reading about kind of like the future that they were talking about there.
Oh yeah, some of the shit they're describing in their book is it's just fucking it's fucking crazy.
It's like, but just wait until I show you some of the shit that they're working on right now. It's kind of crazy because they're actually making this stuff. So in terms of what is coming up on the horizon here, we've got the G2. So that's got 4K displays, quite a bit higher fidelity. Because one thing that you'll see with kind of your standard VR headsets right now is the screen door effect. So you can tell that you're looking. Just imagine if you went up really close to a television that wasn't a 4K television, and you put your eyes right next to it. You're going to be able to see the individual pixels. So when you do that, if you have a super high resolution, you're not going to see the pixels anymore. So that helps with the fidelity. That's getting better. Now, coming up, Apple is actually getting into the game, and it's rumored that Apple will be releasing something as soon as 2021, possibly 2022. And they've been working on VR/AR products for the past 10 years, and they are acquiring a shit ton of companies. So one of the things that this is all top secret shit, but they're saying that this VR might have an 8K display.
What?
And that it will run standalone.
Inconceivable.
It will be its own tower system that will work wirelessly with the VR headset. And it will be much more powerful. The computer is just to run that 8K headset that you're.
Do they have
wearing.
8K TVs?
They do. They're extremely expensive right now.
Does anybody actually even have content in 8K?
No. I mean, this is all, but the fidelity that you would experience with that would be fucking insane. It would be insane how realistic that actually would be and how immersive that would be. So
yeah,
that's
they got to figure out how to make artificial smells.
So just look what happened when you had the smartphone wars, right? When you started to have Samsung, when you had the iPhone, when you had Google, right?
Yeah.
Things really accelerated in terms of innovation. And we're going to see that happening in the VR space in a big way in the next couple years here. So also, now this gets into kind of Teddy's question about Ready Player One. There's a number of VR treadmills available on the market.
Not really.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this video.
I've seen one where it's not really a treadmill. It's kind of like a touchpad, and it's strapped you in the middle. And as you go, your feet kind of slide across it.
And you got to walk with socks. Yeah, those look fucking weird.
Yeah.
So
I've seen those.
I thought this one looks fucking
some
cool.
Some long-haired weirdo.
Because it's cool, like it's like what you would imagine a treadmill to be, but it goes sideways, like it transitions sideways and going forward, and it's like a really.
How does it know when you're going sideways?
It switches. So basically, the treadmill is made out of panels, and then those panels go to the side. Now there are several of these VR treadmills. They're going to set you back at least $5,000.
Oh, so it must be like little belts that let them walk the sideways way, or something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
These like are out there.
Reverse plotter. in a way.
These are being developed.
Yeah, but I don't play video games for exercise. I play them to, you know what I'm saying? I don't like pressing the stick for 2 minutes to make my guy walk.
Teddy's got to bring his fucking originalist. Obviously, they didn't follow the comic book.
They did not, goddammit. And I'm just saying, I'm not one of the people that's gonna pay $5,000 for it. That's
exactly. Well, yeah, and I mean, I think that only the richest people, enthusiasts in the world, would actually be buying that. But you know what? That's going to cost $500 in
10 years.
maybe 5 years. I bet that technology will be much more widespread.
And I'm still not getting
5 years.
Now, when they come up with the chairs and stuff they were talking about in the book, I'll get one of those.
Another thing, this might interest you some more. They actually are making haptic gloves. So haptic gloves allow you, and these are big, clunky, fuck off things right now.
My favorite kind of gloves.
But you feel pressure on your hands as you do stuff. So I watched a video of a guy using this.
Works. Yeah.
And he was driving a car. He was actually, I think, driving a car in like Project Cars or something like that. And he said it was crazy because it was like I was holding a steering wheel. I didn't need the steering wheel actually in my hands. I felt like I was doing this. And in the video, they show like raindrops falling on their hands and stuff. They can feel all of that wouldn't
the activator be like one of the first haptic things, little vests back in the day?
Yeah. So yeah, very crude, kind of like, you get shot or whatever, and it hits you, and it
vibrates.
Right. Ooh. They have that. That's definitely out there, and but really, the immersion when you're using VR, your hands are critical. You need your fucking hands to, move the way that you expect it to move. And I can't even imagine. So one of the games that I really like playing, or have been playing, is a fishing game, which you fish, but the feedback that you're getting in the controller, there are times where I'm asking myself, am I actually feeling what I think I'm feeling, or is this my mind
thinking that you're supposed to be feeling
that I'm actually feeling the weight of the rod? Like, it feels like I have the weight of the rod sometimes when I'm, reeling in a fish. And it's like, man, that's fucking crazy how your brain kind of makes those connections or whatever.
Well, because it always has had to, you think about it, we're just like substituting the sensory inputs. And so long as one correlates with the other, fucking reality.
Absolutely.
That's why they say we don't really know if we all just live in some kind of reality in a way.
I'll be honest with you guys. After reading Ready Player One and after playing a shit ton of fucking VR games, I've had reoccurring dreams where I've kind of questioned whether we were living in a simulation or not. So hopefully I don't have a
I'm almost done with the book. I think I got like 4 hours left.
Hopefully I don't end up having a fucking psychotic break or something. But if I do, you guys know what the fuck happened.
Dude, so some of the things they describe in that book, like the goggles that the high tech goggles that beam the signal right to your retina, that it draws the sight on your retina. Yeah. So it seems so fucking real to you and shit. Like, that shit is fucking.
Yeah, it seems fucking crazy, and I think we're gonna be getting close to a lot of that stuff. And you have to keep in mind too, there's kind of VR that's made for the general masses, and there's also VR that's made for enthusiasts, or kind of things that you can do as an enthusiast. So like when I'm fishing or whatever, I'm watching Netflix. Like, I have a screen next to me in my VR environment because of a overlay program and that I can manipulate. So if it's like, oh, the fish is running that way, I grab on with my hand and move Michael Jordan over here to my left so I can see what the fuck I'm doing, and I can manipulate that.
You can just like grab the screen?
Right, I can just grab the screen. Or if I'm playing a game...
catch my virtual fish.
Right, if I'm playing a game and I'm listening to a podcast or listening to music, a track comes on and I don't like it, I flip my hand over and I have a virtual watch that comes on and I just hit the next button and they'll skip to the next track. and then I'm immediately, killing goblins or whatever, and this is kind of the amazing thing that can be accomplished with this technology. Now I've got some just some videos of my favorite games right now. Until You Fall, that's this kind of melee combat one. One of the things that I've been doing, Teddy, you say you don't like exercising, but I actually put on a 16-pound weighted vest with some weighted gloves and play these melee games. And let me tell you, 40 minutes in, you're fucking feeling it. Like, you're like, holy fuck, man. Like, you're fighting the boss, and you're like, shit, I don't know if I have the actual stamina to fucking keep up with this motherfucker. That's what I enjoy that sometimes.
No, I'm kidding.
But I know that's not
Mistic, you won't last 5 seconds.
Right, but I could see, though...
I would die.
I could definitely see VR helping a lot of kids get active.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess
way more than fucking Wii Fit or whatever that stupid thing was. Here's a scale you can stand on.
And that's my fear. All of my VR things have to do with the PSVR, the Wii and shit, and it has not been A+ as much as I wanted it to be. Yeah. And I don't want to spend that much money for all that for that rig or whatever, and it not be as spot on as I want. I mean, I want the controls to be as precise as a platform I'm playing on a controller. So
yeah, it's been lackluster. That was my thing with PSVR. Honestly, I got it, and I was like, this is okay, but it wasn't blowing my mind.
You're all on PSVR's dick, bro. You were all about it.
I was, but I was like, fuck, I don't. This doesn't seem quite as good as it should be.
PSVR to what you're using now.
Tracking shit compared to the Oculus.
So yeah, like the Oculus just has better tracking of how you're moving in the environment,
how you're moving
to translate
around,
it.
How your hands are moving around. You don't have to worry about any sensors. It just works. It's worked perfectly.
PlayStation 1, did you have sensors you had to set up?
That runs through your PC, obviously.
Yeah.
How much would I have to spend on a PC to realistically run this decently?
Well,
grand, 1,200, 15.
So you could maybe? Probably spend, if you got a tower computer. So I plan on upgrading for my new. I need to upgrade in order to even run my HP Reverb, because that's running 2 4K displays. NVIDIA's dropping their new 3000 series cards in September, so I would recommend getting one of those new cards, because it's going to have an exponential jump. There are also new processors coming out. I plan on
crazy
spending
that they're still squeezing more power out of these fuckers.
A lot more power. So you could probably get away with, I would say, $1,000 to $1,200, and you would be able to run it.
Plus how much is the set itself?
Well, the set, if you want an Oculus Rift S, that's $400. That's what I have currently. The Reverb is $600.
So we're talking 18. So with, I mean, we're talking $2,000.
$2,000. Right? Yeah, I think $2,000. And you'd have a damn good...
But didn't you say that there was one that was $1,200? Is that self-contained computing?
Nope. $1,200 one.
So it's $1,200.
Yep.
That's just index. Jesus fucking Christ! I'll wait a while on these.
It's gonna get cheaper.
Also, like I said, it's not as spot on as I want it to be yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's.
Well, have you played what he's playing though, Teddy? When you did consoles, I don't think consoles.
Yeah, you play the Wii Fit, and it's just not the same.
So one thing that you have to keep in mind too. So there's a game.
This looks really cool. This Half-Life game you're playing.
So Half-Life is kind of like the top dog right now in terms of that's a Half-Life sequel.
So if you bought Valve's $1,200 thing with Half-Life and a badass computer, you would have like the most fucking badass experience you could possibly have, right? Because that thing's probably engineered for that game.
It is engineered for that, but in terms of the clarity, I've seen comparison videos with the HP Reverb G2, and it looks fucking phenomenal. with Half-Life Alyx.
I suppose though,
the clarity, man.
Yeah, the clarity is so much better.
That's the thing. So one of the things when you're watching the video, and sometimes it's through the actual glass. I don't know how they do this. Like they have some kind of a camera that can actually do it, or if it's just a video capture, you're not actually experiencing it like it would be if you had it on your face.
Right.
So say that again. My brain lost where you were.
So the video representation, Ashtray, isn't what you would see in the fucking. Because the senses, I'm sure, with the thing strapped to your face is completely different. You know what I mean? Like the sensation compared to just watching what the video is.
If I show you a video, that's captured off of my video card. That's not captured through the headset.
That's not through the headset. I see what you're saying.
So that's something that you have to watch out for. But I've watched the comparison videos where they've compared them, and it's
so
really
when you're
surprising.
using your VR on, for people who are watching you and making fun of you, does it show on the screen kind of what your recording is here, like on the monitor?
Yeah.
For other people.
So if you have a plugged-in device, it just automatically shows on the screen. You can also cast to a screen. You might have to get like a what do they call that? Google Cast or whatever. It's like a fucking one of the dongles that you put in your TV.
Or I just mean so I got a 3-monitor display.
Yeah.
My card can handle 4. So, can my 3 monitors still run while I'm jacked into the 4th one?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all the monitors. Right? I mean, yeah.
It's usually like a 4th monitor.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sweet.
Right. So, be on the lookout for this. But also, I guess one other thing. You have to keep in mind the games that they are creating as this stuff becomes more prolific are getting much more complex. So this game here, Asgard's Wrath, this is an Oculus game. This is a no shit RPG. Like your sword combat, melee combat, you're casting spells, you have people with you, there's a whole map system, there's a whole inventory, crafting, what you would expect from a AAA RPG like Skyrim or something like that.
That's crazy, but that seems just too much.
And there is Skyrim VR as well. That exists.
Really? Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd play the fuck out of Skyrim. I'd play the fuck out of Skyrim.
You fucking nerds.
I've never played Skyrim.
Have you not? It's an awesome game.
I can't stand RPGs.
Some people love the shit out of it. I used to love RPGs when I was a kid, but now I just don't have the fucking patience.
I hated them when I was a kid. I remember seeing Final Fantasy the first time, and this dude was playing. He's like, "This is like the coolest game ever." And I'm like, "Really? Let's go play basketball or something." I'm like, "What the fuck? This is
why are you so against them?"
I just
always
don't like them.
Always will.
I
don't know what it is, man. I don't like
RPGs killed his father.
Like I understand that Red Dead Online is basically the same thing, but I get to it's an open world. I guess that's the difference.
It's pretty much
if I had played
like turn-based RPGs.
I don't like the turn-based shit. Yeah, maybe if it was
turn-based,
open,
yeah. But as a chess player, that's kind of weird too.
Yes. Interesting, Teddy.
What you thinking, huh? Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's move on to the next. I could gush about fucking VR shit all day. Let's move on to the next portion of the show. What's sexy, Mistic? What's sexy, gray state? What the fuck is that?
I am sexy. So this is that documentary I was talking about, produced by Werner Herzog. I should have put a link in there, but I didn't. So the documentary is called Gray State. It is about a guy who made a movie called A Gray State. So that's kind of confusing. I don't know why they named it Gray State. Anyway, so this dude was like a fucking conspiracy theorist galore. Like he was fucking friends with Alex Jones. I don't know if they were friends, but they talked. That's for sure. He was on his show and vice versa and all kinds of shit. So he was in the military, got out of the military and fucking went to film school and wanted to create a film called The Gray State, which was about the government fucking coming in. Jade fucking what was that shit called?
Jade Helm?
Yeah, where they'd come into like into urban areas and fucking pull people out of their houses and shit, fucking blah blah blah. So he self-funded a trailer for this movie, like a promotional trailer, so he could show it to people for investment. Ended up getting like fucking, I don't know, 60 grand or 100 grand or some shit. And he was making the movie, like he was filming it and shit. But then like they found his body and his wife and his daughter dead in his house in 2015, which is like 2 years into the process of making this movie. So like the documentary goes through like, did this guy go crazy? Did he fucking kill his wife and his kid and like blah blah blah? And I can't tell you, like, you kind of get closure in the end because it's some crazy weird shit that happens. So it's like one of those, it's like, remember that documentary Tickled, when you like go into it and you're like, this is weird, and then it just becomes fucking weird.
So the guy who's doing the action scenes, is that the director who then may have killed his family and went nuts?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's David Crowley, I think was his name. But like, there's some fucking shit. Like, they play these recordings, and it's just, dude, it's fucking creepy. But it's interesting.
Where were the recordings from?
Yeah,
the movie,
he made them. He would just leave his camera on.
So you're basically watching like this guy fucking unwind.
Yeah, you watch him a slow descent into fucking.
Yeah, so you just see portions of his movie, basically.
Yeah, you don't ever really see the whole movie. He never made the whole thing. Like he was. No, he was filming while he was like in the process of it or whatever. But yeah, you see like the trailer that he has, and it's just crazy conspiracy theory nut job shit. But yeah, it's a super interesting fucking documentary. Cool. Anyway.
Where's it on? Netflix or?
I think
Amazon Prime.
Yeah. No, it was a Netflix. Pretty sure it was Netflix. I don't watch it on.
Next up, there's me.
Yeah.
The Avenue Concept in Providence, Rhode Island. I was in a virtual event tonight where some local writers, paired up with these visual artists or use their work of these murals around the city of Providence. They bring in these artists from around the world, and they paint up the side of these buildings with these incredible pieces of artwork. And the writers were creating poetry and fiction and shit like that based off of it. And it was pretty cool. This is something that I've been aware of. You see the murals, they're very prominent, very bright. They have some sculptures and shit. But it's cool. They actually had some of the people that are behind it, like the organizers, and it really makes it adds a lot of character to the city, and it makes it a better place to live, and it's cool. Badass, There's a lot of.
So how long have they been doing this?
I don't know how long they've been doing it. I'd have to say maybe like 5 years. I'm not really sure specifically about
this is,
that.
In Providence.
Yeah, it's in Providence, and it's striking, and you'll see it when they're putting it up, and it's just kind of amazing. They'll have like a big what do they call those things? JLGs or whatever the fuck, those lift things.
Oh yeah.
And they're working on some massive thing on the side of a building, and it's cool. It's cool. I appreciate it, and I think a lot of their work is supported by donations. It's not something that they don't get like big grants or whatever to do this stuff. Right. So it's cool. I appreciate it.
There, Monona here in Wisconsin, their like city department combined with like the County Dane Arts Commission, they did a whole bunch of murals. All these businesses along Monona Drive, a lot of them aren't connected. They've got little alleys kind of between them. And so they coordinated with these graffiti artists, real graffiti artists, and to commission to do murals in between these local businesses. So as you're driving and like you kind of look off to the side, you're just like, holy shit! Like there's a big Bowser from Mario World, you know, like on the you know, all kinds of different and really just impressive pieces of art, and it looks very similar to.
It is cool. I think all cities should do that shit.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
You know
what I'm saying? I'd be fucking happy if graffiti artists just went around and did that shit. Like the good ones, you know what I mean? Like that fucking shit is cool, man. I'm not talking about taggers. I mean an actual graffiti artist.
Those fucking
spray paint artists. You know,
taggers are cunts.
the Pfizer.
I never got that. How does that work? What is?
I read an article about
taggers. Just put their names on shit. Right?
Their whole concept is just like the more you have your name around, the more you have your tag, the more people are gonna recognize it, and then like the more you'll be known. But nobody really knows who you are, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I'm just like
you're just this
like
infinite bastard who writes shit like
it's
you're the one
late
who wrote
80s. Dude, it's
Morpheus
late 80s,
on my
early
scooter.
90s. Fucking what is that called? Fucking social networking shit. Like that was MySpace before MySpace. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, tagging.
How many likes can I get? Oh, this guy's tag is out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's fucking. It's trying to become popular. Is all it is.
What's funny is there was like a local frame shop here that just moved to a new location, and they like put a post on the Madison Reddit that had a tagger had carved, must have been with a diamond bit, his tag into their window of their new shop.
Oh man.
And they just moved, you know, and it's just like, yep. And it's like, oh yeah, they're like, Jesus, that's so and so. Like that guy's got to be in like his 40s or 50s by now, because like he's been tagging since the 90s, and it's like,
wow.
Dude,
yeah, it's just kind of ridiculous.
Shitty that those fuckers give legitimate artists a bad name. You know?
Well, yeah, and it's like really scratching into someone's fucking window.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Personal damaging property. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
fucked.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's fucked.
I don't know I don't even know where we were. We derailed a long time ago.
Well, let's derail all the fucking way to the fucking bottom of the abyss and talk about QAnon.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm assuming this is Ashtray.
Yeah. No, my what's sexy is just
of course
the Republicans
he's the only woke one in the party.
They get the would you say I'm the most woke one of the party?
No, I say you're the only woke one in the party.
And QAnon's not anywhere near woke. It's a whole different ball game.
No, I said you never mind.
Anyways,
fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. So the Republican, what was this woman? What's her name? Something major.
Are you talking about the congressman that got?
Yeah,
elected?
she won. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's her name, not Major. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Major Taylor Greene.
Major Taylor Greene. She has won in Congress, and it's like she is fully spouting. I think she was the now that I saw a picture of her, I think she was the suburban Karen that I was one of the comments I ripped on one of these conspiracy videos, because there's this woman, which I think is her, and it's like she's in her kitchen, and now after reading this article, it talks about all these crazy videos she posted on YouTube about her theories and whatnot. I think it was her, and she's going on and on about vaccines and the COVID.
Oh God,
and I was just like, who's this fucking suburban Karen that's trying to tell us, what nanotechnology is? And she's using this comic book reference that nanotechnology, mini micro robots that can make minor changes. This is fucking bullshit. Turns out it's this woman who won Senate seat. Oh man, I just think that's hilarious. And hopefully she will ruin or be part of the, instead of, remember how the Tea Party was hard to get a handle of when the Republicans were in the minority? Just wait if you get a batch of QAnon believers.
Right? Yeah.
Some of them say, well, I'm interested in it. It's interesting.
Some
of these people have no experience.
The most ridiculous Nostradamus fucking bullshit. It's just vague ass shit.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, it's a sign. It's a
yeah. Because anybody can see a sign
Trump.
in anything. You know
exactly.
But in all fairness, most of these people think that Jesus is coming back. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So one problem, though, like the Republicans,
the fact that most of these people think Jesus existed is the part that bothers me.
What they say here is that what House Republicans are looking at next year as a minority in which the people who know how to govern will all be gone, because a number of these people who chair these committees in the Republican side are like either not running for re-election, you know, or you know, moving on, like, and so the replacements are going to include people either subscribe to the or don't rule out the dumbest conspiracy theory in existence, or have otherwise been marinated in very online conspiracy media bubble that makes the days of Fox News as central misinformation organ look quaint. I mean, yeah,
dude, we're all gonna die.
Crazy.
I mean, it's as simple as that.
If we all don't know,
I'm not even joking. We're all fucking. This country is dead.
Yep.
10 years from now, there will not.
I hope the COVID starts killing more people.
There'll be 4 different United States.
Hurry up and get this over with.
All right, Teddy, Ready Player One.
So I got it on Audible after hearing Oracle talk about it. Unfortunately, I saw the movie first. The book is very, very much not like the movie at all. I mean, yeah, the only thing that they have in common is that the guy died and there was a contest and shit like that. But it's the book. I mean, the movie. I mean, you know about
it. That's how it starts off. It's basically like Willy Wonka and fucking virtual reality.
Yeah. But the author paints a much bleaker picture of how the world was. I mean, these people escaped into this. I mean, there were people. Everybody had bad skin because people really didn't go outside. It was crazy how this virtual world became the real world to escape from, with the famine and everything else that was going on in the world. And I wish they would kind of flesh that out more in the movie, but they kind of kept it with a glorified contest, which didn't go quite like it didn't go like the movie at all. It is a really good book. And like Mistic, you were saying, this country's fucked. That in 10 years, in the book they paint a picture about that. It's kind of surreal how close we are to what the author describes in the book as the current world. So yeah, it's a good book, man. Check it out if you have Audible or whatever. Pick it up. I can't wait for part 2 to come out actually here. So I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, that's coming out in November, I think.
Ready Player 2. So, yeah,
boom,
awesome.
Boom. Okay, we're moving on to Fuck What You Think. First up, we've got Ashtray with Yale Yanks, the Ying Yangs.
So let's see here. Yeah. So Yale has been brought up by the Justice Department. Of course, depends on what angle you're looking at this. People are thinking it's Trump trying to stamp down on what do you call it?
Affirmative
action. Yeah. But actually, this follows after I believe it was Harvard was actually proven to the problem is Asians. It's mostly happening to Asians, but it's Asians and whites are not getting accepted into Harvard and now Yale, and I'm sure many other universities, because they don't want to move out too many minority students, I guess, but it's like,
right.
I hate that term reverse racism, but it's kind of like, well, it's kind of, isn't racism if you're being excluded because you're too good, like
it should be completely based on merit. It doesn't matter
exactly. It should be
what color you are.
Completely
based on merit.
And if completely based on merit, then yes, it probably would be a lot of Asian Americans who are in our universities. Right. And the thing is, though, so there was over 60 different Asian American groups that have been since back when Obama was in administration that have been complaining about this, that the numbers aren't adding up, that these people of the same merit values or better stats are being passed over.
I get what you're saying, but it isn't this is the local tech school. This is fucking Harvard.
Sure.
The people who got accepted, it wasn't like some black dude got in that fucking had a 2.5 in high school. You know what I'm saying? He deserves to be there.
True. But like, I could also see it, happening more in just Yale and Harvard. But like any school that's got a high, a number of people applying. Yeah. But you got it, and it's like a hard position because if you do make it just completely based on merit, then like realistically, it is going to push out students who are good enough to be in college, but they're not top tier.
Right. Because
and
their high school,
you want to keep your campus diverse,
right. Yeah.
you have to give preferential treatment to try to get more.
And honestly, some white dude who probably didn't want to be at Harvard anyway and ended up going to fucking Cornell because daddy had money. Fuck him. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Just let the fucking black dude who didn't have a fucking chance do it. Fuck him.
I have no problem with the average.
That's right.
The average white dude, because the average white dude now, like everybody can take a punch at him. I have no problem with the average white dude losing a spot at Yale, but like that elite Asian guy who might solve some problem, like he better get in there.
That's true. You're right. I mean, it's Yale. What's the difference? Oh, I went to Brown or Yale or fucking Harvard.
Come on, plus, we're all Harvard men anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah, right. Well, I was actually on the Harvard campus, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that. And
just a bunch of
museum there, like a natural.
They actually let you on?
They actually let me in. But I've got to tell you, I was
running at him during the polo game.
I was shocked by how many Asians were on that campus.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was fucking like 80% Asian.
Jesus, maybe it was. Maybe it is like, okay, we gotta stop letting you.
It was fucking crazy. I was like, God damn,
you gotta let a couple white people and black people here. Like that's fucked up.
There's a lot of motherfucking Asians there.
Yeah.
That's funny because that's easy how it could be like the reality where they're like, no, we're really trying to get anyone else in. And that it's always just like the Asians are just a top class,
dude.
Merit.
They're fucking hitting it hard, man.
They value education.
And
they do.
Working, like, just putting your head down and working.
Oh, yeah. They're hard. Fucking the hardest working motherfuckers in the world. For sure.
Teddy, what's up with Sun's goddamn School of Economics?
Did I put economics in there?
Yeah, you put economics in there.
Oh,
I thought that sounded kind of weird. It's like, goddamn, you trying to get your boy in fucking Harvard or what?
Right? Oh shit! What is it?
God damn it! So first day of school, the bus shows up. I'm trying to track the bus to come pick him up, and the school had a bus app we've been using for the past 2 years. Safe Stop. You put your kid's ID number and everything else. Tells you what stop's supposed to be in your neighborhood. And at what time the bus should be there approximately, and it lets you track the bus. Upon logging onto this, it didn't work, and I was like, "What's going on?" So I called the school, and the school said, "Well,
took over the bus."
So that's what happened. It has to go 55 miles an hour if it stops. Anyway, so I called the school, and the school's like, "Okay, she's like, well, we're not using the app anymore. We have our own app." And I'm like, "Okay, awesome. What is it?" She's like, "Well, they're not finished with it yet." And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of fucked up because the school year started."
Well, then you don't have your own app now, do you?
Yeah. Well,
I'm like, okay, so fine. So I take him to school.
Well, then, in fact, Sheila, you do not have an app.
Yeah.
So we take him to school and shit and drop him off. Everything's fine. And then I get a call at 3:22, and I'm like, I'm thinking school gets out at 3:57. I get a call at 3:22, and the lady's like, yeah, you picking Braden up today? I was like, well, yeah, because we didn't know the bus is running. So she's like, well, yeah, he's out of school. We got out at 3:22 today. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that. Well, they sent me an email at 10 o'clock in the afternoon while I was at work, but I didn't check my email because my son was already at school, and they usually call something wrong to let all the parents know, hey, today we're switching school, and instead of getting out at 3:57, get out at 3:22. So my girl went to go pick him up, and apparently there's a shit ton of kids up there because a lot of parents, they get the email, and that was something they really should have called on instead of just sending a fucking email.
Right.
And this is the first day of school. Everything's been fine since. Well, actually, no, he did get hit in the head with a bottle by a retard the other day.
Retard didn't know what he's doing.
That's what my son said. He's like, it's okay. He didn't know any better. They don't know anything.
See, that's emotional intelligence. They're teaching kids emotional intelligence. Man,
yeah, each kid has a.
I would have had butt in him. How old is he? 6? I would have had butt in him for sure. Yeah. If that was me, that kid would have been fucked. I would have fucked him up.
Damn.
Fucking
I don't care if you're fucking retard. You're about to get fucking more retarded.
I kick people in wheelchairs. I don't give a fuck, dude.
So, but he was like, "It's okay." I was like, "Thanks, buddy."
That's good. That makes me feel better about the future.
Yeah, man.
If we don't fuck the world up too bad, they're gonna save it.
He's gonna be a lover, not a fighter. He's definitely.
It's a good sign when you see your kids act level-headed.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
I'm serious.
Pick that up for me.
It really is. I'm glad all my kids have my wife's demeanor.
I want him to defend himself. It seems like he's got my wife's bitchiness in it. I don't like that. Put some fight in it. We're getting some gloves and pads for Christmas.
Some of your daughters have your aggression in them?
Oh God, I hope not.
No, mine don't.
like three female.
My middle one.
I just imagine like some guy tries to put the moves on your daughter and she just headbutts him.
Well, the younger one fucking has she's got some sass to her too. But,
all right, so
they're too small to do anything about it. So I mean,
ow, give him a little paring knife.
Yeah, right.
So my fuck what you think is, I recently had some plans to do face-to-face, some hybrid face-to-face classes. Had made these plans, and then boom, get an email. Oh, there might be a possible infection. Cancel fucking everything.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean,
shut it down.
Completely shut it the fuck down. And it's just like, holy fuck. Like,
is your job state funded?
This is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
When schools open up again.
Oh
like,
God, yeah.
Seriously, it's gonna be so fucking.
That's
bad.
why mine aren't going.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude.
Is it optional in Milwaukee, or is Milwaukee all virtual?
I think it's optional.
MPS is doing full virtual. Wauwatosa, you can choose. They have like a hybrid where they go 2 days out of the week, and then the rest is homeschool, or you could do all virtual. So they're doing all virtual.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to be writing books about, like, this generation's education was stunted by 1 year. What kind of ramifications? It's like, there's someone will be fine.
Right.
Dude, in Ready Player One, they talk about kids going to school in the fucking in the Oasis.
The kids who want to learn will learn. The ones who want to fuck off are going to fuck off, just like they would if they're stuck in school.
Exactly.
I disagree. I mean, I think my son. I am not a good teacher of educational things, like when it comes to books, learning and stuff. So I'm being honest. Like you want to help?
Yeah, we can tell.
That's not
we get it, Ricky.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. In a lower income setting, like what my wife has to try to teach these kids in. You got to think some of these kids, like that Chromebook that the school has given them, it's probably the most expensive thing in that house.
Probably,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that's unfortunate. Because
how many of them are gonna have that yanked?
How many of them exactly, or broke it because they have a sibling that fucked it up, or they just don't care for it? That's the only access they have to learning.
I'm sure there's plenty of kids who won't give a fuck about it.
Right.
Right, and it's just gonna further create a fucking, a shit environment for them.
Yeah, there's a shockingly high percentage of kids that are actually in kind of homeless or house-to-house couch surfing situations.
Yeah.
And the only place for them to get a decent meal is at school.
Exactly.
So those kids are definitely affected.
Yeah.
So
the rich white kids, they can learn online.
They're fucking great, man.
And not even just the rich white kids, but look at the difference between MPS. MPS had probably enough Chromebooks for all these kids, but look at my friends' kids up north. He has 2 daughters, and they both received iPads.
What?
And that's just a rural school. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Also, like, just the difference in the funding.
Yeah, my fiance was saying that, like you said, a lot of the kids, the laptop is the most expensive thing in the house. But also, those people don't have internet. So for those students, they have to also give them a hotspot.
Well, actually, Spectrum is, I think they're giving, if you have a low enough income or whatever, you get free, like the low fucking cable, 60 megs or whatever.
Yeah.
For free for these people. During this time, I don't know if they stopped it, but they were doing it before. So
right, what's that? That costs them nothing other than just a little bit of overhead for labor to install it.
And they've already got it in. You know,
well, the cable's already there. Exactly. It's just having one of their lackeys
plug
go
the
there.
modem in. You know what I mean? And that's fucking it.
And those techs, man, some of them are a little rough on the edges. You know, they come in, it's like, fucking Jesus, look at this shithole. You know, like, imagine what kind of low income situations they're gonna all of a sudden be working in. People who normally wouldn't pay for any cable internet.
So that being said, my wife has plans to create work packets for kids who aren't showing up, and just go over there with a mask and some gloves and just fucking give them shit to work on. If they're not going to show up for school, at least we can provide them.
Here's something, yeah.
Sorry,
So,
I don't know how else
just,
to do it.
Come back and pick it up.
Right.
Yeah. Or even just ungraded. They got to learn something.
They'll learn. They'll learn how tough the fucking streets are.
Yeah, they're gonna learn what COVID-19 really means.
All right, so we have Mistic, America.
Yeah. Fuck America. That's all I gotta say. Not America. Not the United States of America. Fuck America. You know what I mean? Like the beer guzzling redneck, fucking Sturgis, fucking
Mistic doesn't like
non-mask wearing.
Yeah, Mistic really don't like Sturgis. Because he could never quite get his leg over that hog.
Sturgis, like Mistic on any kind of hog would fit in Sturgis, and I'm gonna get his ass a trike here in a minute because there's gonna be some cheap ass bikes here in a minute, bro.
Yeah, I'd ride around on a
cheap ass bikes.
I mean, see, because if everybody gets the shit and fucking, it's gonna be a lot of bikes for sale. If this shit really kills off people, like I said, this.
That is true, yeah. So anyway,
they're probably not that healthy.
And it's just Donald Trump pisses me off. Like, it just, this whole, I think I'm smarter than experts pisses me off. Like, the whole, I mean, they're already starting with the birtherism shit with Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on.
It's also, they have no other recourse. I mean,
that's what I mean. It's just fucking.
It's just the fact that people are eating that shit up
is that's like, we have one side that wants the government
rattle of the old gentry,
and the other side is just old white people with syphilis yelling at their TV, and it fucking pisses me off. I want to punch them in their fucking mouth.
Oh yeah.
Every time I hear some dude go, "I'm not wearing a mask in your store," well then you ain't coming in the fucking store, cunt.
One of these Republicans who was asked about the QAnon stuff is like this. It's basically the gonorrhea of conspiracy theories. It's like the worst of the worst. So that's pretty good.
Is Dude up for election this year? Your boss?
Dude, no, he was. I think in 2018. Or wait, no, maybe he is this year, but he's running
every 2 years.
I think.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's.
Yeah, you're right, because when I went and voted, he was on there, but I don't think he's got anyone running against him right now.
Oh.
So like he's doing fundraising for other people, but he hasn't had to like get a bunch of yards.
It's kind of be cool to know that your job's secure like that, you know.
Yeah, well, I hope. The problem is it's just the fucking it's been slowing down big time everywhere.
Bill Gates takes
over.
No,
not your job. I'm talking about him.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about myself.
Just saying he's not running. I'm just saying he's not running against anyone. Is what I'm saying.
Well,
it's gotta be nice to know that
that's
you're
when they use them to go and raise money for everybody else. Like that is part of the game.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck if you're homeless.
Rub elbows. Yeah, right.
Maybe you can shack up with one of those kids in their Chromebook.
Yeah, right.
Couch surf.
Hey, don't touch my magazines. Quit stealing my lighters, Kanisha.
Kanisha? Damn.
Maybe the bar will give you another fucking tossed salad or whatever the fuck. Salad greens. You guys can fucking share that. Right. Look at nudie magazines.
Bag of salad greens. Kanisha.
Well, that's it for our show.
No, it isn't. Did you do fishing and sports?
Oh, I switched that out.
You skipped your fuck what you think. Oh.
Yeah.
You did fishing?
I did it on the fly.
You fucking
That's it for our show. Check us out.
He did it live. We did it live.
Check us out at the redeyereport.com. I'm completely going off the script right now. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/redeyereport.
Twitter, baby.
Twitter.
What's our Twitter, Teddy?
Now?
Teddy, what's our Twitter?
Teddy, what's the people
red_I report something.com, whatever. I'll get it. Dude, I'm too old to work Twitter.
We probably have like 4 Twitters.
I want to tweet shit. I'm gonna look.
I want to tweet shit too, but I want it to be like our group, our messenger tweets, because that shit would kill. But I don't think there's a way to do a group twit or whatever it's called. So.
Oh man, we are so hip. Man, we are so fucking hip with this social media shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm Oracle.
I'm Ashtray.
I'm Mistic.
Oh, that was a weird stepping on each other's toes.
Right? Jesus, Teddy.
It's like stepping on somebody's toe while they're taking a piss.
We've got like
a
bunch of different ones here.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Yep, it sure is.
What town did we tell to go fuck off?
Go fuck yourselves, Potosi.
Oh, hey! Well, them's fighting words.
They'll unleash the fucking liger.
The liger. Yeah, fucking.
All right. You fellas have a nice night.
Good show.
All right.
Later.
See ya.